We're live, baby.
We're live, baby. Where the fuck at? We're live, baby.
Hey, that was that shit damn rude. Watch it, man. Oh. Shit.
31 seconds ago. We gotta go find the lives, baby. Group, man. What the fuck? I ain't never see this before. Group me. Homecoming. What the fuck? They always doing some new shit. Hold on, man. More. Group me. That's weird. So how the alright, if I got that up there, did it post already? How many times that shit post? Does it post it? That's weird. So how alright, if I got that up there, did it post already? How many times that shit post? That's weird. We want to see you at the 50. I'm gonna bring my trophy with me, sir. What the fuck? Share. More. I ain't never see that before. Root research. That's you posting it? But that shit weird. I don't know how to do it no more. Like, what the fuck? Share play, I guess. But that shit weird. I don't know. Hold the fuck up. They do it that way. We live, baby. Go Buffs. Go Buffalo.
Go Buffalo.
Hit that like button when y'all come on in this bitch.
USC.
Hit that like button when y'all come on in this bitch. Fight or fold. Is that the title? Is that the title? Premiere, season 10, episode 1. Fight or fold. Oh shit!
It's gonna be a lot of fucking fold.
Fight or fold. Oh shit!
A lot of motherfuckers. Yo, I'm busy.
When NCAA,
I got shit to do.
I got shit to do.
Nah, motherfucker, you just losing.
I'm burnt out.
You just don't know how to.
See you on 27.
How to fucking get back in the lab and get better.
We done fucked up. We done brought the brothers in. Motherfucking, we're colored, we're happy, and we're colored, and we're brothers. Give me a high five. We done brought them in. Niggas got tired. They out here video gaming the shit out of niggas. Oh my god, myself included. What the fuck? These niggas out here putting March Madness basketball scores up. Yep, there go my chances of getting to a title game. I'm out of here. I'll catch you on 27, my nigga. He is I and I ain't him. No way. For the long haul. There's been a lot of quietness going on, fucking. This on the HitsStory podcast. This ain't on the fuck you mean. Lucky we ain't do the fuck you mean. We do the fuck you mean. We talking all shit. We ain't gonna talk no shit today. We just gonna talk about when this game came out, 2026. You start off in the 2025 year. We are now in 2035. So we are 10 seasons in. What's that? A decade? Did I get it right?
Yep.
A decade. A decade worth football seasons, man. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? All right, California got a quarterback that never hit the portal. even though their coach slid out. And he playing good ball right now. They beat the shit out of UNLV, and he went 223 for 27 for 453, 6 passing touchdowns. This is a computer quarterback too. 11 carries for 92 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. Folks, man scored 8 touchdowns in the game. Tony Colley, pure runner, 6'4", 202 pounds, senior quarterback. Just because you're a pure runner though, but like 99 overall, is this guy going to be somebody we have to talk about going into the draft, in 2035 draft as one of the best quarterbacks in the class? We have three running backs back to back to back in this year's Heisman race, and one coming off of a win over UCLA 94-56, and that's South Carolina's David Atacho. Is that Acho? Is he related to Emmanuel Acho? Bitch ass nigga.
Said 94 to 50.
Is that how you say that last name? Atachu. Emmanuel Acho, a bitch. Hachu. 187 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also had 76 receiving yards, 38. Bet money fought. Those 2 catches for 76 yards was playmakers.
Oh,
The nigga turned him upfield and lobbed that bitch on 3rd and 13. We got a running back that used to play for Ohio State that's now in Houston. Did he come home? Not only did he played in Ohio State in 2033, and he only touched the ball. He played in 3 games and had 3 carries. But then he went to Texas last year, 234, but he only carried the ball 122 times for 668. And now he took himself. He's from Pluggerville, Texas. He goes back, stays in Texas, but he goes to Houston, and he is now. I don't know if he's the bell cow though for Houston, but right now 23 carries for 159 yards, 7 yards a carry, 3 touchdowns on the day, 7 broken tackles. The 5'11", 194-pound Barry Ezekiel is in this Heisman conversation as well. Then you're looking at the old but goodie legacy player Danny Brown. He coming off a big time win over Virginia. He had 12 carries for 211 yards, 18 yards a carry, 2 rushing touchdowns. He did catch the ball at the backfield twice for 23 yards on a 12-yard average as a receiver. Listen, you had some good running backs come out of North Carolina, Falk. Is Journey the best, or do we won't see the greatness of Journey because of how deep that running back room is?
he's not the best, in my opinion.
Nate Tramaine Jr. was?
Thomason was the second.
Oh, Thomason. I forgot Thomason the second.
He only had 1 year, but I think if he'd have had multiple years, he might go down as one of the better running backs in this. But he only did it 1 year.
You got the luxury of seeing him, like, let's talk about Journey's journey for a second. Last year, he was 4th on the depth chart. And he was 4th on the depth chart and worked his way into that starting role to close out the year. And not only that, he came into this season as the number 1 back. And a running back room where everybody decided to come back. Like, first of all, that's an A+ for you to be able to bring your entire backfield back. But not only to bring them back, but Journey took that next step to be the guy in that backfield. But what does that look like when you brought, for the first time, when you had 2 years in a row, you had multiple backs that can get it done for you? What does that look for the bell cow, though? The guy that's the guy, knowing that he got other backs in the backfield that he's going to split time with.
They say pressure make diamonds, right? And him to be the 4th string and then get his opportunity. Remember, he didn't play till week 5, 6.
Yeah, it took him a while to really get going.
He started just he got his opportunity. He made it by the end of the season. Started. Now he is the guy. Like, it's no committee, no, has trio of running backs that all probably gonna get drafted.
So when you say no committee, are you saying he's the hands down back this year, or do you or
He's the hands down guy.
oh wow? And you bought three other dogs back in this backfield, and to hear their head coach say Journey is the guy as a redshirt sophomore.
I mean, he outworking and back in the country recruit running back last year. 5-star elite, not even starting, he's getting in third down.
It's early with the Heisman campaign right now, but like knowing that he's third on this list, and it's a heavy running back list, right? 3 out of the 5 guys up here are running backs. And we do know 2 of them will not be on this list, being at the computer teams. But is it time to start the Journey campaign?
Yep.
Like, is your football team embracing the fact that he's a Heisman contestant right now, and that early on they were?
He's one of the captains, and he hard. He lead by example, and they're gonna try to get him the award.
That's our Heisman race right now. When you start looking at top 25, not a lot of shifting went around right now. You start looking at the guys in the top 25. Colorado sitting at 1-3-0. They got a big time game at home versus Houston tomorrow. Huge game. This is going to be a rematch of the Big 12 championship in 2034. And then you got Indiana, who's playing South Carolina in Indiana. This is a rematch of the Super Bowl, national championship last year. Indiana Hughes right now, man, with Coach T-Mon taking over that program. Is it time to look at them as a for real program? Like, I mean, they got a natty fast. They kind of did what Signetti did in real life. Second year, get to a natty and win it. They did exactly that, man. So what do you expect out of this Indiana program?
I expect continue. They got a great coach, a great scheme, and they make the best of the talent they got. I expect them to be right back in the mix.
Yeah, they put the league and Big Ten on notice. All right, North Carolina number 3 on this list. Y'all are at number 11, Oregon. I got to go to Alton Stadium. We know that's a very loud stadium out there in Oregon, in Nike territory. How do you feel about this team? You brought your quarterback back, your entire backfield came back, you got your receiver room back. For the most part, that's the signal for this year. Like, everybody, we're back on some Mike 23 shit when he came back to the Bulls. Your entire team, for the most part, offensively came back. What's the expectations at Chapel Hill?
Championship or bust. Last 2 to 3 years, top 5 classes in recruiting. Senior latent team, defense is playing well, offense cooking. Got a 5th-year quarterback, legend Newkirk.
The brother of Alberts. The brother of.
No excuse. There's no excuse. Lost 1 game last year in the Final Four. Try to get it done.
Is that pressure or is that expectation?
Expectation. I don't think it's pressure. If I hadn't won one, it would be pressure. But I think now, we are looking to get back in the winner's circle. I wouldn't say it's pressure. I would say
expectations. All right, South Carolina is sitting at number 4 right now, and they have an alumni ex-football player there that took over the head coaching job there. They do have a national title within the last 3 seasons. They went to the title last year, lost by 1 point to the Indiana Hoosiers. They are up against Indiana. They do travel to Indiana to take on Coach Tymon and these Indiana Natty National Championship football program. That's going to be a big time game, man. In my opinion, I think that's going shape up and shake some things up a little bit. They did play each other last year. South Carolina won that game, close score, and then they replayed again in the Natty, and the reverse happened where Indiana won that ball game. So we got this week 4 matchups is really good right now. So you got number 4 at number 2, you got number 1 at number 6 at number 1, and you got number 3 traveling Oregon to take on 11. Ohio State is 2-0 right now. They're coming off a bye week, not this week. They played Boston College, took care of business. They do got UCLA, right? UCLA kind of, to me, is a really good football program. They well coached, but they had a tremendous schedule in the beginning. But to me, I think this game is all about Ohio State. You tell me if you agree with me or not, Matt or Falk. Y'all agree with me or not? I think Ohio State has something to show. They have something to do, something to prove. They have something to get to. So I don't think this game is about UCLA and can UCLA go into the horseshoe and win the game. I think it's can Ohio State continue doing what they did last year. Like they played really well last year, but then lost in the second round, third round of the playoffs. I think they lost in the Final Four. They did beat Clemson in the playoffs last year, and then lost to they lost to South Carolina in the semifinals. Can they take that next step, right? And it starts here. It starts with Big Ten play right now. Right now, Indiana has taken over the Big Ten, and Ohio State has been, a consistent team running the Big Ten right now. And right now they're looking like they want that title back right now. So I'll ask you this question, Matt. Being that you coach in the Big Ten as well, do you think Ohio State is poised to be able to get back on top of the Big Ten this year?
Definitely, definitely. From all the harassment I've been giving him, with the coaches polls and everything, I think he took that to heart and pretty much said, "All right, I'm gonna just stop talking and just show my gameplay on the field." And that's pretty much what he's been doing the past two seasons, to be honest.
Yes, sir. Now, when you look at overall schedule, they took Texas out at 45-24. They come off that bye week. They get Boston College, right? So then you're gonna see UCLA, then they get Georgia State, and then they get into conference play with Rutgers, Penn State, Minnesota, Illinois, Washington, Purdue, Wisconsin, and their only user game is going to be Michigan. So we know they're gonna have a crash course on their way to the Big Ten championship. They're not playing anybody, so they cannot drop this UCLA game. And if they do drop this UCLA game, that's one loss, and then they don't play no user until the rival game with Michigan, the Big Blue. And we hear Coach Rob is back at it and waiting to get to that game again. But man, somebody escaped a schedule out this world, bro. How the fuck this happened? This what happened when you change schedules. When I got changed shit up, because they definitely had user games this Boston College game and that Georgia State game. I don't know what happened there, but fuck, knowing that schedule. As a matter of fact, let me put my share play up. Knowing that they really don't play anybody, like this is their last user game, and then they go on a run all the way up until week 13 to play Michigan, where they don't have no user game right now.
Who's this?
Ohio State. Like the scheduling, I don't know how I changed that. I don't know what happened that changed these games, but his non-conference games, he ended up playing 2 computer teams for some. And I know I had it when I switched up the schedule at the end. That's probably what happened, but he don't play anybody. He don't got a user. All his Big Ten games are all computer games.
We won.
So they got a free run, right?
That is definitely a free run.
That's a free run that's a free run right now. Like there's no excuse for them. Now it can help or hurt. It can help or hurt them, right? Not playing nobody all the way to the playoffs might hurt you. Not getting no practice with any users throughout the like you literally got to play a user week 4, and then you gonna go on a run and no users until you play the Michigan game at the end of your schedule. And I don't know how that's gonna benefit him going into the playoffs with nobody, like no he don't have no challenging games really
WTF is the
outside
neutral
of
face.
UCLA and then Michigan. So we'll see how this plays out for Ohio State, but I'll take it. If I'm them, I'm like, I'll take it. Fuck it. It is what it is. Like we should see some awards being won by this Ohio State program this year. And then number 6, you got Houston, right? Coach Hoodie took this program over last year, uh, got them into the playoffs, um, got them into the Big 12 championship game, and got them the number 6 team in the nation right now. Uh, and they're going to come off of this Colorado game. This is a huge game early for them, for Colorado and Houston at week 4. And then they got Utah, but then they play Notre Dame, Baylor, and Nebraska. Before they come off that Nebraska game, they got 2 conference games in Notre Dame, User, and Baylor. And then they go Nebraska, Big Ten. They come off a bye week, and then they got Oklahoma. And then they close the season with Texas Tech, Florida State, and Arizona State. So they usered out. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games that's about to be user games for them. So they're gonna be highly ready playing users, right? Like that's one thing you're gonna know, they're gonna get some user games. So this game is big because their schedule don't lighten up at all, right? Like they do get some big games at the back end of their schedule, particularly week 9 against Nebraska. I would say week 6 against Notre Dame. You got week 4 against Colorado. Then you're looking at Oklahoma week 10, Florida State week 12, and Arizona State week 13. So Houston is lined up to either be great or not be great, right? I mean, when you're thinking about Coach Hoodie and his style of play, he's going to give anybody play hell. And it starts with this week 4 game when they travel to Boulder to take on Coach Prime and the go-go offense with Coach Marion. It's a nice little scheduled game right there. Oklahoma 2-0, man. You heard Max in the chat all day today. When Max is in the chat talking, he won the night before. Is that facts or fiction? Let's play facts and fiction with Max.
The big facts.
They get Nebraska and Oklahoma. They get Nebraska and Norman, Oklahoma. How do you feel about that game, man? Is that a game? Look, he's just coming off a 50-49 1-point win over number 13 ranked Clemson, but he did it at Clemson though. That's not easy to do playing at Death Valley. Clemson fucking crowd base is fucking nuts, and it be rocking out there. But they did get a 1-point win. They went for 2, and did not play around with no overtime with them. Now they got to take on number 9 ranked Nebraska. This is the old Duke coach. Nebraska was a playoff team last year as well. Matt, I'll ask you. You know who Nebraska is, being in Big Ten last year. Do he have a chance in this ball game?
I believe he got a chance because, I mean, when we played, he was a problem for me. It was the first time me playing him, and I pretty much was expecting, a passing attack, but he really was a balanced player. More run, I would say like 60-40 run to pass, but yeah, I think he got a chance.
Yeah, I think he's doing a good job when he took over this Nebraska program that was pretty much a built program, right? Their coach took the old Nebraska coach took the USF job, and he slid right in and took this Nebraska roster, and he did a hell of a job in the offseason. And he also capitalized off the NIL that Nebraska can give you and put a team together, and they're back at it right now. So they're number 9 in the nation for a reason right now, and you got 10 versus 9 playing right now. So wait, are they the 7? I mean, 7 versus 9 playing each other this week in Norman. Now, they got a big crowd, but Oklahoma has a solid crowd too. SEC team. Can Nebraska go on a road and get this game won? Is going to be the question, right? You got Oklahoma with their senior quarterback in Braylon Mayfield, and he's looking like he's poised to be able to take this team to back to prominence, right? Back to playing at the same level as Twin has been playing for him. How fault? He trying to get back to him being able to call Twin. Let me find out. Shit.
When?
Do we believe in this Oklahoma program? They do have the most national championships during this decade of football we've played in this league, with 4 national titles. Can they get another one? Is this the year that they poised to get it? Matt, do you feel like Oklahoma can put themselves in the national championship conversation going into week 4?
Oh yeah, you can't, count out Max. I mean, he got the resume to show it.
When?
He twin.
20, twin.
But yeah, Max. I mean, yeah, he got a chance. I ain't gonna
Around
lie.
here, between
Y'all
Normandy and West End. Twin.
twin.
All right, so you got Tulane, who fell from 7 to 8 after playing the FCS school, but they got to use it again. They go to the Big 12 and take on Baylor. Coach Knox, in his second year, look, I'm going to tell you this. He did a good job in recruiting, solid job in the portal. They lost a big-time receiver that is now playing for North Carolina. But outside of that, they was
Thank
able
you,
to maintain,
Knox.
that was a good receiver too, but they was able to maintain that roster. They did a really good job of bringing back their players, and one of the best players they brought back was their starting quarterback. And I think if you got a quarterback, you got a chance, right? Um, they did win the American League last year, and they was the Group of Five school that represented in the 12-team playoffs. They're looking to do it again, although USF will have something to say about that before it's all said and done. But they take their talent and they get Baylor at home right now. And I think they're looking to continue to make waves, no pun intended, green waves, make a wave to show that they belong, right? So we'll see how that shit play out right now. They didn't get to play their playoff game against Alabama last year. Hopefully we pass all that and we can get these games played and see what type of coaching Knox is ready to do now that he's in his second season with Tulane right now. So we'll see how that goes. We talked about Nebraska. They are the number 9 team in the nation. They take on Oklahoma. Alabama, the motherfucking turbo offense that I can line up and give you 20 to 30 carries if I need to, or we can spread you out and throw the ball around the park. They do come
28
back with their
carries.
sophomore quarterback. They had a redshirt freshman that played quarterback for them last year. And he was lights out all year long until down the stretch, right? Until they played the conference championship game and then their playoff game against Colorado. But I think another year under this kid's belt. This is one of the first times you see him playing with a non-transfer quarterback. Now, I'm quite sure he grabbed some quarterbacks out of the portal. Matter of fact, let's go check and see if he actually starting the 5-star that they brought in Reed, or did he go to the portal and change that up? Let's go. Matter of fact, I'm not going there. Let's go to depth chart. Alabama love. Yep, Brian Reed is the starter. He comes back as the full-time starter right now. Now they got Colin Casey. Um, okay, so I like it, right? So they are starting Brian Reed. So now this is something that we haven't seen in a long time from this Alabama program, which is them playing with a homegrown. How do you feel about that, Matt? Does that help him? Uh, is that a positive that we're watching him play with a quarterback that's homegrown?
Yeah, as long as he got enough stamina for that turbo.
I knew-
He,
Sooner or later, I knew you was coming to
hey,
that standard and shit. Oh my god. And ain't that why motherfucker Florida State was mad as hell, 28 carries, right? Or some shit like that. What happened to that game?
boy, like, he was 48 hot. Boy, he was like, man, I don't know how this man ain't tired. It's no huddles. He was hot. He just, hey,
Thank
he
Boone.
got the. He's stupid.
Thank Boone ass. Oh my god. All right, so Alabama is going to take on Virginia Tech, right? Coach Seahound and the Virginia Tech Hokies will be traveling to Alabama to try to get their first win of the year right now. Alabama's schedule. They actually got a good schedule, right? They did take a 1-point loss after being up. This game against Indiana, they lost that with 4 minutes to go. They were up by what, 20, something like that, 30 points or some shit. It was 30-7 in the fourth quarter, or something like that. Anybody remember that? Let's go see.
Yeah, I think he was up 30-7 going into the fourth quarter and just folded.
Yep, because you got 20. Yep, 30-7 in the fourth quarter with 4 minutes to go. Lost the ball game. He let Indiana score 24 points on him, 24 unanswered to win that game, 31-30. And that's a game we know Alabama going to want back, right? When you look at Brian Reed, he didn't have a bad game. He was 74%. He threw the ball, 137 QBR, 248 yards passing. He did throw one pick. He had a touchdown. He was sacked 3 times, but he was 26 for 35, 74% on the day. You go look at the run game. This is where to me, this is why they couldn't win the game, right? Either you didn't want to win it because you know when you playing in Indiana or South Carolina, you know they're gonna run a score up on you. So I think two things happen. You up 30-7, and you try and put it on him, right? You ain't gonna call the dogs off. You ain't gonna play playoff football at that moment, especially week one. You want a motherfucker bury his ass, right? And I think it backfired because you could tell by, even though the running back had 15 carries, Azuma with 15 carries, only 35 yards, 2.3 yards a pop. In my opinion, they didn't have enough run game, or they didn't use the run game enough. Even though we seeing well over 20 carries, you got 27 carries through the three players in their backfield, but it wasn't enough to close that game up. So I'll ask you this, Fault. When you up 30-7 with 4 minutes to go and you lose the game, was that arrogance, or we not giving Indiana enough credit? Right? Did Alabama lose that game by not winning it, or did Indiana just show greatness?
I think two things can be true. I think it's both of what you said. I think Indiana showed that's why they the champs, right?
Hmm.
But then also the reason why you got down 20, 24 points. You got to look at that too. Like you can't just bypass that. Like, oh, they came back. Well, he came back, but you also got down that much. So Alabama was doing something right. And then I think it's arrogance on Alabama's side. I think Alabama wanted a message that I'm here now,
Hmm.
not and score 50 on, Indiana if he could.
Yeah.
I think that's when the palms got sweaty, backside got tight. He lost the game. I think I tuned him. He went for it on 4th and 2, but like under 2 minutes left on their own 30-yard line. So pretty much knowing that if they got it, they win. If they didn't get it, you give Indiana a short field and they went for it. They didn't get it.
They got a forgivable schedule though, right? They get Virginia Tech week 4 at Alabama. So in Tuscaloosa, Virginia Tech, who's an 0-3 program right now, has to travel to Alabama. Then they got Texas, and they get Texas at home as well, conference play. And then they're going to run off 3 straight computer games against conference teams, Texas A&M, Kentucky, and Mississippi State, before they take on Florida at Florida. Off that bye week of week 10, they take on 2 more computer teams, and then they're going to run it out against the Iron Bowl. And Auburn has won this game when it was played the last 3 times. So depending on what Auburn look like this season will determine how this game going to come, right? So I say they got 3 opportunities for hiccups, right? I think Alabama is built good enough this year to get through these games, right? They escaped the dogs of the SEC this year. They completely escaped the dogs. Anybody that's a dog is really escaped. Texas is a part of that dogness. I think Florida Gators have been putting themselves in that dog conversation as well. And then Auburn just that matchup, the Iron Bowl matchup, it just gives Alabama hell for some reason. So they got 3 opportunities to either show who they're going to be this year or show who they're going to be this year. Do you see them slipping up at all in any of these matchups, Matt? Week 5, Texas. Week 9, Florida. And then week 13, Auburn.
Week 9 and week 13 definitely, because for the simple fact that Auburn, like you said, beating them the past 3 times, and then Florida. I mean, if he come to play, he can beat anybody.
I agree. And these two got a history, right? They got a history
Hmm.
when Florida had Nebraska, when they had Georgia Tech. They got a history, so they are familiar with each other, and that's going to be interesting down the stretch. So right now, Alabama, the Crimson Tides are number 10, and we're going to follow Brian Reed through his sophomore season and see how he finishes out strong. Now, Oregon started off, and they had to take on the runner-up of the national championship in South Carolina. Crazy thing is, I barely touched Oregon's schedule. They opened up with South Carolina, right? 59-27 loss. They come off the bye week 2. They win the Civil War Bowl against Oregon State. Now they're going to take on North Carolina before a Big Ten play starts to happen, where they got to take on at Northwestern. Then they come home against USC in a rival game, in my opinion. Even though it's not a rival game, it's a rival game. But then they get a good run of no users until Indiana at week 12. Um, I think they can afford 2 losses, but 3 losses will put them in a situation, right? And you got to look at this week 4 matchup to North Carolina. They do get this game at home, but I think this is a game that they want to win. They have to win. I don't know if it's have to win, but if they don't win this North Carolina game and then they get USC at home and don't win that, we're gonna start looking at Oregon. You might be in a little bit of trouble here. But I do think it's a favorable schedule for them as far as the Big Ten goes, right? Because you literally only got to get past 2 users, which is Indiana, who right now is the best in the Big Ten, and then USC, and we all know what Matt can do with this USC program. So, do you feel like you got your quarterback is intact this year? Because you usually go as good as that quarterback go.
Nah, he this is first year starter. This is gonna be a rough one.
All
And
right,
he is
man.
senior too, so like Pete, he stayed all 4 years,
That's
and
who's starting right now, Pete.
no, Pete gone, but Matt
Liner is the starter.
yeah, he
Okay.
just sat behind Pete the whole time, and this is first year going, and yeah, he'll get it right by the time we get to week 6.
So Oregon gonna either be looking to play in another Big Ten championship or fighting for their playoff lives. Be when this schedule is said and done. Louisville sitting at number 12 right now. They take on Pittsburgh. You got Clemson sitting at 13. They were number 8. They did lose that 1 point game to Oklahoma and drop 5 spots. But they take on Florida State, and this is a big matchup right here. I like this matchup. This might be the game of the week. This could be a picking game for us. Um, Matt, we know Florida State coming off a loss that they really upset about, right? Like that really put the fire under them right now. And then it's the crazy thing. You're coming off a team that gave you 28 plus carries with 1 back, you said?
Yeah,
All right, now think about this. You're going to get the exact same from Clemson. You know Clemson run that football.
he might have an aneurysm.
Oh, my God.
Hey, I can see it now. Like, hey man, fuck going on?
And he on
He
the
gonna be
road.
hella pissed. Yep. Yeah, I mean, if he can
And
stop the run, and he started before. If he can stop the run, he got a chance. But if he on that Superman running back combination, it's GG's.
right. I like this Florida State team. I like the coach. I like the team. I like what he did, what he put together. And I think they got Tallahassee with high hopes right now, right? They was killed with a major headache of a schedule the last 2 seasons. I think the schedule lightened up a little bit this year, but you still got who's of who all over that schedule, right? Because not only do you get Clemson and conference play this year, we go down to Florida State. I think they get North Carolina this year too. They get Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech sneaky too. Got to watch out for Georgia Tech. Now they escaped Clemson, but they do get Houston this year, and then they still got Florida. So their last 3 games is going to be Miami, Houston, and Florida to close it out. Right now, in my opinion, they got Clemson. They got to deal with. And look what they started off with: Auburn, Alabama, Clemson. That's their first. That's their non-conference games, right? I mean, their top 3 non-conference games was Auburn, Boston. No, Boston College from ACC. So Auburn and Alabama. So they had to play the SEC, right? And then they get Big 12 team at the bottom, which is Houston. So they now they're gonna go in the conference play with Clemson, and they on a roll for that Clemson game. That's a rival game. Then you come off your bye week in North Carolina State. Then you get Georgia Tech, and you go to Georgia Tech. And we don't. If D West play this game, it's going to be a game. And then again, you come out off your computer games and conference play, and you take on Miami, Houston, and then end it with your rival game of Florida. To me, Florida State might be a playoff team. I don't like. I see the schedule, right? All right, put it this way: if they win this Clemson game, I think they go into the playoffs.
I was gonna say the same thing. If he get past Clemson, he'll run the table.
I think you come down here and gotta pay attention to Houston, Florida, bro. Don't
I
get it
respect
twisted.
that, but if he get past Clemson, he'll run the table.
hmm All right, you heard Matt call his shot, man. If we get past Clemson, week 4, he'll run the table. All right, USF, right? Second American team, right? Our group of 5 school, 34-31 over Virginia Tech. They do take on Duke. And it's going to come down to Tulane and USF playing each other, right? And they're going to have to play each other in the regular season, I'm assuming, again. And do they play this game early or late? They don't play this year? Oh, they escape each other. So this is a good thing for them because now what happens is if they run the table, now USF do got North Carolina week 8. They got North Carolina week 8, but then they don't play Tulane until conference championship game. So that's gonna be interesting down the stretch. And then Tulane, let's see who he got remaining on the schedule. They got UCLA, and they played that game last year. This is the home v home situation, and then they don't play anybody else after that. So they about to be in a situation where if they win this UCLA game, they go into the conference championship game undefeated. They could probably lose and still be a playoff team. And the way they looking with this schedule, they might be a actual playoff team and not a group of 5 team in the playoffs. So we'll see. We're gonna have a chance for 2 of these guys to be in the playoffs again, like it was late last year. All right, so we start looking at that. We go looking at California, Georgia Tech. They at Boston College this week. Notre Dame sat 3 players last week after playing the computer twice. It comes off of that, and they gonna have to deal with Texas Tech this week. Is this the year Texas Tech win this game?
Texas Tech got a tough experience with users.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's beaten Notre Dame before. But
I got confidence in Jay, man. I don't know if he beat Notre Dame before. Not with Texas Tech.
I'd have to. Yeah, I don't know. I think he did. I think he beat maybe twice. Could be wrong, but I know he beat him once.
Yeah, he might have got him not last season, the season before, or was it last season? I know Notre Dame had a bad season one of these years.
But I don't know. I think it was last season. Cause remember he had to sit. Notre Dame had to sit players last season.
The best team
and I
in the
think it was
league
that game
here.
he played Texas Tech, and I think he lost. If I'm correct.
Hoosiers.
Because Jay got in chat, started talking shit like, yeah, y'all said I was going to lose this many games.
Notre Dame is fighting. Look, Notre Dame has extended their program in a sense. Since they moved to the Big 12, they've been better at recruiting, and they've been playing. They actually played in the Big 12 championship a couple years back. One loss right now, and that was a 1-point loss of their outing. Right, Colorado had to travel to Notre Dame, and playing where Touchdown Jesus is at is not an easy fucking game to play. That crowd is fucking nuts in Notre Dame, bro. Oh my god. But they decided to go for 2 instead of tying the game up, and they got stopped on a 2-point conversion, which lost them that football game. They played a hell of a game, and I think if they could play like they played in this first game, they haven't had a contested game yet after that, right? 84-9, 84-3. Now they got Texas Tech, then they got BYU at home, then they go on the road against Houston. They come off their bye week and they get USC at home, and then they play their Navy rival, and then they get Baylor, Texas, and TCU to close out the season. So they are going to have a couple of runoff games, right? Texas is going to be another big game to look at week 11 for Notre Dame, but they do got to start it off by getting through this Texas Tech football game. We'll see how Notre Dame fares out going throughout the rest of the season. Arizona State is sitting at 3-0. Did they win any of these games? They got a away win there. They did beat Miami. No, that was a forced win. They haven't played a game yet. Come on, Joe. That's how you was looking at Texas A&M, man. Shit ain't easy though. They got Tennessee, Clemson, and then Houston as their user game. So we'll see how that shit plays itself out over there in the Big 12. As we continue to go down the top 25, Florida State, we already talked about them. Tennessee. All right, Boone had to play in the kickoff classic against Colorado, against North Carolina, and North Carolina came out looking like the playoff team they looked like last year, right? They looked like they was looking at the end of the season, this game, 63-21. But then they get Wake Forest. Now they got LSU, and look at the runoff. LSU, and then they play in the Big 12. They get a rival game. Oh no, I mean they get Texas Tech, and then they get Arizona State. But in conference, they only get LSU, but they go on the road to Baton Rouge, to the real Death Valley, if you let Albert tell it. And then they go home against Texas, and then they back on the road against South Carolina and home against Auburn. All right, with one loss already, can they run the table? Right, they'll start here week 4 against LSU. LSU 0-2, but they played the national champions, and then they lost a close game to Clemson.
I mean, that's a pickle because I think Albert plays Boone pretty tight.
They play. They do go back and forth with it.
So that could be a pickle. And then who? Let me see who else.
Then they got Texas Tech, and they go to Texas Tech. Then they home against Arizona State. They doing their little Big 12 tour. They get Colorado next year. Ole Miss, and then they go back in the conference play. They on the road at Ole Miss. They get Texas at home. They on the road at Texas A&M. They get Missouri at home, and then they go to South Carolina, and then they get Auburn at home before playing that rival game at Vanderbilt.
If he get past Albert, I can see one loss down the road.
I see it looking like this. They get past Albert. I think he beats Texas Tech and Arizona State. Texas will give them hell with the Wildcat. To me, I don't know who wins this game, but this is going to be the next point out game, right? And then last time he played South Carolina almost hung 100 on him.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how he comes into that game. But at South Carolina, it looks like a loss. And then we don't know what Auburn will look like around week 12, right?
Right.
If Auburn is in it, then that's going to be a game. If he's not in it, who knows if he even play it. So Tennessee at 23 right now, they got to scratch and crawl their way back into the top 12 for them to be considered anything this year. USC is 24, and that's our last ranked user team. Now you coming off that 69-31, and this is the game where you play North Carolina with a quarterback that's playing in his first game. You did get that game at home. You got it in in Los Angeles. Where y'all stadium at? The Coliseum.
LA. I think it's downtown.
You get Iowa at home, Michigan State at home. You do go on a road at week 6 to Oregon, and then you are on a road to Notre Dame. But then you get Michigan at home, and then you on a road at Nebraska, and then UCLA, the rival game at home. Your schedule hell for you to be playing with a first-time quarterback.
But look, I'm gonna tell you, my quarterback is the issue. Look at that. Go to that first game. That first game was a forced win, right?
Yep.
When have you seen my offense score 9 points on a first?
On a fair sim.
And look, this team loaded on everywhere in the skill position.
Oh my God. Like nobody really scored a touchdown. Like where your touchdown come from? Defense?
No, it was field goals.
All field goals? 3 field goals, yep.
I seen that shit. I was like, oh Lord.
And then we thought Wake Forest was a guy, and then we found out he was a guide. What Steve Smith Jr. call ass receivers. A jag, just a guy. We thought we had a guy, but we found out he was just a guy. And then look, not only that, then you get in a user game, and then he really looked like he wasn't ready for the moment in this ball game. Your defense shut the run down, but you can't win a game throwing 6 interceptions. Not only did you throw 6 picks, he was sacked 6 times. That means he didn't understand the defense. He couldn't read the coverages. He couldn't read defense, right? Because you holding the ball a little too long. But I know you, and I know how you are with your quarterbacks. Eventually, you're gonna get him together. But who's next up though?
Oh, we got freshmen. We got freshmen.
We gotta take care of that.
It's gonna be yeah.
Any of them got traits?
Yeah.
Which one of them got any of them a star or elite?
I think Stick is star.
I remember Stick. I was going after him. I know he's a red gem, so if he's a star, that means he was supposed to be elite. All right. I know your defense played well. You shut the run game down against North Carolina, but again, you're on the road at Oregon. That's going to be a big time matchup. You get Notre Dame on the road as well. Michigan week 9. So you got a nice little schedule to run it out this year. So we'll see how things play itself out.
Yeah, we'll pull through it. I mean, I normally average by the time I get to that UCLA game, I'm usually at one conference loss. So I mean, we'll make it happen.
And that's all we can do is make that shit happen. Let's look
Hmm.
at national stats right now over the first 3 weeks of football and see who's doing what. All right, passing leaders right now. You got Tony Cali, the redshirt senior quarterback. Josh Sams for redshirt freshman throwing a pill right now for BYU. That's how you know niggas is. Look, after watching a couple of these playoff games, everybody on that RPO running the ball shit now because you don't see no user quarterbacks up here. All the top quarterbacks throwing the football right now are computer teams. Real talk. We get to our first user quarterback, and that's Lamar Willie, the redshirt senior for Florida State. That's crazy. That's all. And then Newkirk, legend Newkirk is second up. Like this is crazy. Yes, sir. Touchdown pass. Let's see if we get any users. Cali with 20 already. Newkirk, 18 of them bitches. Darryl Simon's son, 16 touchdowns. Najee Israel, 14. Quarterback play. Uh-oh. But I bet you it's going to be all users here, though. Let's go look at the running backs right now. Texas running back Cameron Forden. He got 516 on 55 carries this year. Marshawn Lynch Jr. Cal got some players. These boys ain't transfer out either. Oh, my God. Marshawn Lynch Jr., 515. Greg Pasco. Who that? The Lobos, New Mexico. Jaquez Rabe, Louisville. He's sitting on 23 points. This guy ain't even using his motherfucking points. What's up? David Atachu, 439 right now. Next user is Journey Brown with 421. You can tell it's early right now. Most guys have bye weeks, week 2 too. We had a lot of bye weeks in that week 2 window. Rushing touchdowns though, Marshawn Lynch with 10. You would think Kyle got a user right now. They going fucking crazy.
Oh, his team was nice.
Yeah, it was. Clayton Carnes, number 20 from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Redshirt junior with 8 rushing touchdowns. Cameron Forden. And a lot of users out here going crazy. Brian Vick, he a dog. Oh my God. Yeah, I know him. He's a problem. And when it comes down to receivers, catches wise right now, we got the most. Gregory Lil, Big 12 guys, Cameron Beasley, Silas Beavers. His last name Beavers. All right, yards. Look, Donald Mays, receiver, 24 catches, 619. Cal. So Cal, quarterback, running back, and receivers are leading in stats right now.
Going crazy.
Andre Oyamata. You got Quandre Rivez, the true freshman for Coach T in the South Carolina Gamecocks. 20 catches, 516. He averaging 26 yards a catch, 5 touchdowns. Patrick Westbrook. You got Craig Barfield, Florida State. Sophomore, redshirt sophomore too, right? And he's shitting 471, 3 touchdowns. Gregory Lil, Kentrell Ibiki, Jalil Dykes. I think he in the Heisman race. Shakir Jones. Not a lot of users. Khalil Teller for Colorado with 7 touchdowns, 222 catches, 420 yards, 7 touchdowns. Quandre Rivez. So it's too early for the stat conversation right now. All right, man. Last conversation for us before we get out of here. Let's look at conference standings right now. We look at the ACC. Matt, talk to me right now. Who you think is going to the conference championship game and in the ACC? Look, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ranked teams right now. North Carolina, Florida State, Louisville, Clemson, Georgia Tech. Who you see playing in the conference championship? Is it going to be a North Carolina Clemson, or do you think Florida State or Georgia Tech can make some noise this year?
If Florida State get past Clemson, I got Florida State, North Carolina. If he don't get past Clemson, it's gonna be Clemson, North Carolina.
Got you. I like that same assessment. We know Tulane and USF playing in their conference championship in the Big 12. Look, they play each other this week. I don't
Free
think it's
run,
no slump
Rado.
on them. Hell no. Houston, that's a problem game right there. Houston, Texas Tech, Baylor, Notre Dame, and Arizona State as far as users go. Is it another Houston Colorado matchup in the Big 12 championship this year, or do we see Notre Dame or Texas Tech or even Arizona State stepping into the fray?
Houston, Colorado, another rematch.
I can see that too. All right. So who's going in the Big Ten? Indiana, is they going back? And will it be Ohio State, Oregon, USC, or Nebraska?
I'm putting my money on Indiana, Ohio State, especially Ohio State, because they got a free run.
Yeah, Ohio State got a free run for sure.
And I think Nebraska, does he play both myself and Indiana?
I think so. I don't think Nebraska play Indiana this year.
Okay, well, it might be a three-way tie, but I think it's going to be.
Nope, they don't got Indiana. They got this Oklahoma matchup, and then they get Houston week 8. After that, they just play Michigan and U.
So it's all going to be on my shoulders to give him that. If he get through me, then it's going to be a three-way tie, and then it's going to be up to the gods.
Be up to the motherfucking conference gods, and then the SEC, right? Do we see South Carolina, Oklahoma this year, or do we get Alabama back in it? What about LSU, Tennessee, Florida, Georgia, Texas, or even Auburn? They all still in the running right now, in my opinion. But who you got?
What's Georgia's schedule look like?
Georgia's schedule. Let's see who they play. All right, they came off that 3-point loss to Houston.
Shit.
They beat the brakes off of Texas Tech. They got Michigan week 4. Then they get Oklahoma week 6, South Carolina week 8, Florida week 10, LSU week 12, and Georgia Tech week 13. They got hell scheduled.
Yeah. What's Oklahoma's?
They got hell scheduled. Oklahoma, they get Nebraska week 4. They get Georgia week 6, Texas week 7, Florida week 8. Then they come off of that, and they get Houston at Houston week 10, and then they run out computer games.
Okay, South Carolina. What about South Carolina?
South Carolina got Indiana week 4, and then they go computer. They get Auburn, Georgia. They come off a bye, and they get Texas, Tennessee, and then they play Mississippi State and then Clemson. I think they're going right back to the conference championship.
The hardest person that got to run down the road is Georgia out of them 3.
Mm-hmm.
It might be OU.
Their hardest games
Carolina.
left. Their hardest games left ain't even conference games. Indiana
Exactly.
week 4, and then Clemson week 13.
Yeah, it's gonna be either Oklahoma and South Carolina for the SEC.
I think Alabama in the mix too, though, right? They escape all of them. Don't sleep on that, right? Alabama literally got Texas left,
I forgot.
Florida, and Auburn left, right? They went out, they in. It don't matter what the fuck else happened. They don't play nobody else. They just got to beat Texas, Florida, and Auburn, and they right in the conference championship again.
Okay, so if Alabama went out, it'll be Alabama, Oklahoma.
I think we're going to see. I think we're going to see South Carolina versus Alabama again.
You sure? Because I think the record or the overall record.
Because I think Mac's going to drop a game. I think he gonna drop. I think he gonna drop a game. Yeah.
You think he gonna drop that Georgia game?
I don't know what game is going to be. I mean, he don't really got a major tough schedule, but he gonna drop a game. I think Mac's gonna do something himself to drop it. Like Like you got to think about it. He got Georgia, Texas, and Florida. Last year he had that run and he lost a couple of these games. So he in a
I think he
revenge
lost
game
to
versus
Florida
Georgia.
last
He
year.
lost to Florida and Georgia last year. Texas hasn't beaten him since like season 1. So, and that's the Red River rival. Texas will be the home team in that game. We'll see how that goes. But like far as conference to go, I think these are the only 2 hiccups he can have: Florida and Georgia.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. He might run the table too, though. He could run the table easy, right? As far as his conference play, he can run the table easy. This is going to be interesting down the stretch.
We might have to revisit this conversation.
Yes, sir. Definitely revisit the conversation. And with that being said, we are gone. Catch y'all on the next one. A little quick show
We
tonight.
out.
Nothing no sticky and nothing like that. Big time
Little something,
matchups
something.
tomorrow. Holla at you.
Peace.